Now Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon, whatever it is you like to be called, I think it's time you got your pencil neck geek ass out here and faced the Reaper.
How about we just pull over and do it where we at? How about you just lift that skirt up? Ooh, we can be bad. That place that ain't been touched, I'm feeling on it. All that juicy fruit keeps spilling on it, girl. Get it up, take me on a ride to ecstasy.
Victorious. Electricity in the air tonight. And there's the Undertaker on his way to the ring. Here comes the Phenom. The Undertaker was looking for Mr. McMahon. Why is he coming to the ring? Folks, we'll be right back.
Why I'm so pissed off at Vince McMahon.
We're live.
Let's start from the beginning. Some 10 years ago, when I first arrived in the World Wrestling Federation, Vince McMahon was known for somebody that would give somebody an opportunity, even if they were just a little different. And Vince McMahon did just that. He gave me the chance to be myself, to be the Undertaker. But you see, that's where all the giving stopped and all the taking began. Shortly after my arrival here in the World Wrestling Federation, I became the Slayer of the Dragons. Now you ask, what do I mean by that? Vince McMahon knew that I would be loyal for him giving me an opportunity. So what he did is he put every giant, every freak that he knew his hand-picked champions couldn't beat, and he sicked me on them. And I beat them, I destroyed them, and I moved on. What I did for Vince McMahon was make his kingdom safe for himself and all of his hand-picked champions. The whole time, I knew that my time would come. And after I made his kingdom safe and there was no one left, well, then I got my opportunities. Oh yes, I am a two-time former World Wrestling Federation champion. But as you all know, my tenure as champion, they didn't last very long. Why? Because Vince McMahon didn't want someone like The Undertaker representing the World Wrestling Federation. But I remained loyal. Even after all his hand-chosen favorites left town for greener pastures, more money, I stayed here. I stayed by his side, thinking my time would come. How do I get repaid for that? He forces me to fight my own brother. He gives Paul Bearer an open forum to discuss every tragic incident that ever happened in the life of The Undertaker. For what reason? Let me tell you why. Because it's all ratings. He put my family tragedy on the line for ratings. And even after all that, I never lost my smile. I kept on fighting. And as I've been taking care of family business, Stone Cold Steve Austin, right to the top. Now don't get me wrong, I got nothing against Steve Austin. The only thing Steve Austin ever did was come to the ring and fight me like a man, and that's all I ever asked. But you see, Vince, after years of mistreatment, and after the last 8 months of you throwing my family up in my face, I've had enough. Now it's time the Undertaker got what is rightfully his. I demand my shot at the World Wrestling Federation title. Now I've done enough talking. Now Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon, whatever it is you like to be called, I think it's time you got your pencil neck geek ass out here and faced the Reaper.
Whoa! And now it's the Undertaker calling out, the owner of the WWF. We are alive. Anything's apt to happen here.
And he looks none too pleased.
Well, apparently Mr. McMahon has already publicly fired Mick Foley. He had a hellacious night at Over the Edge, did Mr. McMahon. I'm sure his head is still ringing from that chair shot that was absolutely astounding.
Yeah, you saw the look when he was coming down the aisle. He was saying, "You're calling me out?"
He's got some moxie to step in the ring with the Phenom.
His whole demeanor is changing.
I'm going to give you the answer you're looking for in just a minute. But first, you're going to hear me out. After all I've done for you, you choke slammed me damn near to hell last week. You hovered over me like a giant vulture last night. And why? To get my attention, you got it. You got it. You want to talk about loyalty, dedication, honor, all those qualities you have. I'll grant you that. And I'm appreciative for it. But you know, let's face it, what have you done for Vince McMahon lately?
How brazen.
As far as your family's concerned, all your family problems, I got a question for you. Is Paul Bearer telling the truth when he says that your mother was a whore? Wait a minute. I've got your answer.
My God.
You want the answer?
What has got
You want
into
the
him?
answer? You want to be the #1 contender. You deserve to be the #1 contender. That's what you want. That's what you'll get. Sure. No problem. You'll get it. You'll get it if you defeat your opponent in this ring tonight. There you go. You got what you wanted, okay? So whoever wins the match between you and your opponent will be the #1 contender in this ring live tonight. So let's see what happens, Undertaker. Let's see what happens when you have to face your brother, Kane!
Whoa! Tonight, right here, live, The Undertaker and Kane, and the winner's gonna be the #1 contender to the Rattlesnakes title.
#1 contender!
Can you believe this? The Undertaker's gonna have to face his brother. shot at Austin. He'll have to survive the depths of hell to get that title shot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. It's official. It's going to happen tonight live. The Undertaker will meet